Hello, and welcome back to the Boost English Skill podcast.
Your daily English boost.
It's so good to be here with you again, John. I was really looking forward to our conversation today.
Me too, Luna. I feel like we always have these cozy talks, and it's a nice way to slow down.
It really is. And a very warm welcome to all of our listeners, wherever you are in the world. We are so happy you joined us.
Absolutely. For anyone joining us for the first time, my name is John.
And I'm Luna. We're two friends who love talking about life, and we do it in English to help you learn.
That's right. And today, we're going to talk about something very important for everyone. The title of our episode is Emotional Regulation.
Emotional regulation. It sounds a bit formal, but it's really about how we handle our feelings.
Yes, how we understand them and how we manage them, especially the difficult ones.
And we've marked this episode as a B1 level.
But even if you are a strong beginner, maybe an A1 or A2 level, please don't worry.
That's so important. The conversation is clear and natural, but it's not too fast. You can just listen and get used to the sound of English.
Think of it like listening to music. You don't need to understand every word at first. Just enjoy the flow of our voices and the topic.
Perfect advice. Before we begin, a small, friendly reminder. If you enjoy our podcast, please give us a like, subscribe, or share it with a friend.
It really helps other people find us. Thank you so much for that.
So, John, emotional regulation. Where should we even start with such a big topic?
That's a good question. I think we should start by just naming some emotions. What does emotional regulation mean for you in simple words?
For me, it's like being the driver of your own feelings instead of the passenger.
I like that. So you're in control, more or less.
More or less, yes. We're never in perfect control, but it's about not letting your feelings drive the car into a tree.
That's a very clear picture. Okay, so let's talk about the first step. Before you can regulate an emotion, you have to know what it is.
Right. You have to name it. You have to say, I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling very nervous.
But that can be hard sometimes. Have you ever had a moment where you just felt bad, but you couldn't explain why?
Oh, all the time, especially when I'm tired. Everything feels mixed up. I might feel sad and frustrated and anxious all together.
Yes, fatigue is a big one. It makes everything harder to manage. So in those moments, what do?
I try to stop for just 1 minute. I take a very deep breath and I ask myself a very simple question. Luna, what is the main feeling right now?
And does an answer usually come?
Sometimes it's just tired. And that's a valid feeling too. If the answer is tired, then I know the solution is not to get angry at my friend. The solution is to rest.
That's a beautiful example of regulation. You identify the true source and you address that, not the other things around it.
Exactly, but it takes practice. It's so easy to shout at someone when you're actually just hungry or sleepy.
The classic hangry feeling. You're angry because you're hungry.
Yes, so true. So naming the emotion is step 1. What do you think is step 2, John?
For me, step 2 is about accepting the emotion, allowing yourself to feel it without judging yourself.
Oh, that's a difficult one. We often think, I shouldn't feel this way.
Right, I shouldn't be jealous, or a strong person wouldn't feel this scared. But feelings are not right or wrong, they just are.
They are information. They are telling us something about our situation.
Yes, so if you feel jealous, instead of saying, I'm a bad person, you can say, I am feeling jealous. What is that about? What do I want that I see in someone else?
That changes the whole conversation in your head. It moves from punishment to curiosity.
Exactly. It becomes a learning moment, but it requires a lot of kindness towards yourself.
Self-kindness. That's a key ingredient. I'm curious how our listeners handle this. When you feel a strong, difficult emotion, are you kind to yourself or are you critical?
It's a personal question, but feel free to think about it or even share your thoughts in the comments later. We love reading them.
We really do. So we've named the feeling, we've accepted it without judgment. What happens next? How do we actually manage the feeling?
Well, different feelings need different tools. Let's take a very common one, stress or anxiety, the feeling that things are too much.
A feeling I know very well. What's your go-to tool for that, John?
For immediate, in the moment stress, I use my senses. It's a grounding technique.
Grounding, like connecting to the ground, to the earth?
In a way, yes. It connects you to the present moment. So I might stop and name 5 things I can see.
Okay, I see my microphone, I see the window, I see a plant, my notebook, and my cup of tea.
Perfect. Then 4 things I can feel. The texture of my shirt, the chair under me, the air on my skin.
The warmth of my teacup in my hands.
Yes. Then 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste.
That's amazing. It forces your brain to focus on the here and now, not on the worried thoughts about the future.
Exactly. It's a very simple but powerful way to regulate your nervous system. It tells your body you are safe right now.
I love that. My tool is often movement. If I'm full of nervous energy, I cannot sit still. So I will just walk around the room or stretch.
Physical movement is fantastic. It uses up the energy that the stress creates. It's like your body is saying, we need to run from danger. And you say, okay, let's walk quickly to the kitchen and back.
That's exactly it. It's a compromise with my own body.
What about a feeling like sadness? That's a lower energy feeling. You probably don't want to run or walk.
True. For sadness or disappointment, I need comfort, but healthy comfort.
What's the difference between healthy and unhealthy comfort?
Good question. Unhealthy comfort might be eating a whole bag of cookies while watching TV for 5 hours. It numbs the feeling.
And healthy comfort?
Healthy comfort acknowledges the sadness. Maybe I make myself a nice cup of tea with honey. I wrap myself in a soft blanket. I might watch one movie that I love, but just one, or I call a friend.
So it's a gentle, caring action towards yourself, not an escape, but a way to sit with the feeling in a softer way.
Yes, you're creating a safe space to feel sad because it's okay to feel sad.
That's really beautiful, Luna. It's about creating a kind of inner home for all your emotions.
I like that phrase, an inner home, because no feeling should be left outside in the cold.
Exactly. Even anger. Anger is a difficult guest, but it needs to come inside too. It has something important to say.
Anger is a tough one. It feels so hot and sharp. How do you regulate anger, John?
For me, the first rule is do not speak and do not act immediately.
That is a very good rule. One I have broken many times.
We all have, so I try to create a space between the feeling and my reaction. I might say, I need a moment, and leave the room.
And then what do you do in that moment?
Sometimes I just breathe, deep, slow breaths. Sometimes I need to do something physical, like squeeze a stress ball, or even just clench and unclench my fists.
To release that physical tension.
Right. Then, when I'm a little cooler, I try to find the message. Anger is often about a boundary being crossed, something felt unfair.
So instead of shouting, you always do this. You can later say, when this happened, I felt hurt because...
Yes, you move from blame to expressing your own feeling and need. It's much more effective communication.
And that is also emotional regulation. It's not just calming down inside. It's about how you express it to others.
A huge part of it. Our emotions affect our relationships. Good regulation improves our connections with people.
You know, this is actually great listening practice for English learners.
Oh, how so?
Well, we're using a lot of words for feelings and states of mind. Frustrated, anxious, grounding, nervous system. This is the kind of vocabulary you need for real, deep conversations with friends.
That's very true. And we're talking about it in a calm, slow way. You can hear how the words connect in natural sentences.
Exactly. Just listening helps your ear get used to it. Okay, let's talk about another thing. What about when regulation fails? When you just lose your temper?
It happens to everyone. I think the most important thing then is repair.
Repair, fixing the damage.
Yes, apologizing, saying, I'm sorry I shouted. I was feeling very overwhelmed, but that's not an excuse. How are you feeling?
That takes a lot of humility, but it also teaches people around you that emotions are human. It models regulation after the storm.
It does. And it's part of being kind to yourself, too, forgiving yourself for not being perfect.
We're all works in progress, as they say. We're all learning.
Always. I'm thinking about language learning and emotional regulation. They are actually very similar.
Tell me more.
Well, when you learn a language, you will feel frustrated. You will feel embarrassed sometimes. You might feel nervous to speak.
Oh, absolutely, all of those.
So you need to regulate those feelings. You need to name them. I feel embarrassed because I made a mistake. Then accept it. It's okay to make mistakes. It's normal.
And then manage it. Take a deep breath and try the sentence again, or give yourself a break and come back later.
Exactly. The tools are the same. Self-kindness, patience, curiosity instead of criticism.
That's a wonderful connection, John. Learning English is an emotional journey, too.
It really is. So be gentle with yourself on that path. Okay, let's talk about another tool. Journaling. Writing down your feelings.
Do you journal, John?
I do, sometimes. Not every day, but when things feel confusing. There's something about writing it down that makes it clearer.
It gets the thoughts out of your head and onto the paper. They feel less big and scary there.
Yes, and you don't need to write perfectly. You can just write, today I felt, and I think it's because no one will read it.
It's a conversation with yourself. I sometimes use my notes app on my phone for this, just a few sentences.
That counts. Any form of expression helps. Some people draw, some people talk out loud to themselves while walking.
I do that. I have full conversations with myself on walks. My neighbors probably think I'm strange.
But it helps. That's what matters. The goal is to process the emotion, to understand it.
Let's talk about happiness. Do we need to regulate positive emotions too?
That's an interesting question. Maybe not regulate in the same way, but appreciate, savor.
Oh, I like that. So often we feel happy and then just move to the next thing.
Right. So regulation can also be pausing in a happy moment, really feeling it in your body, smiling, saying this is a good moment.
Noticing the details. The sun is warm. My friend's laugh sounds beautiful. This food tastes amazing.
Yes, that strengthens the good feeling. It builds up your reserves of happiness for harder times.
It's like taking a mental photograph. Wow, we are talking about so many aspects.
We are. And I'm curious about our listeners again. What is one small tool you use to calm down? Do you have a special breathing method, a favorite comforting activity?
Please let us know in the comments if you feel comfortable. We learned so much from your experiences too.
Absolutely. This is a conversation, not a lecture. We are all learning together.
So true. Now we've talked about immediate tools, but what about long term? How do we build better emotional regulation over time?
I think it's like building a muscle with exercise. And for me, the best exercise is mindfulness or meditation.
Even just 5 minutes a day?
Even just 2 minutes. It's not about emptying your mind. It's about practicing noticing your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them.
So you sit quietly and a thought comes, I have so much work to do. Instead of jumping up immediately, you just notice, there's a thought about work.
And then you gently bring your attention back to your breath. That simple act is training. It's the same muscle you use when you feel angry and you pause instead of shouting.
That makes so much sense. You're practicing the pause.
Exactly. And another long-term thing is basic self-care. It's harder to regulate emotions when you are always tired, hungry, or lonely.
So sleep, food, water, and connection are the foundation.
They really are. You can't expect to be emotionally balanced if you're running on empty.
It's like trying to drive a car with no gas. It won't work. You need to fuel yourself first.
Perfect analogy. So sometimes the most regulated thing you can do is go to bed early.
My favorite kind of regulation, I am very good at that one.
You are an expert. Okay, let's think about culture for a moment. Is emotional regulation different in different cultures?
Oh, that's a big question. I think the expression of emotion is very cultural. In some cultures, it's normal to show strong emotions in public. In others, people are more reserved.
True. So the regulation might look different on the outside, but the inside process of feeling and managing is human, I think.
I agree. Everyone feels joy and pain. The way we show it or are allowed to show it changes.
And that's important to remember if you're learning English and communicating across cultures. Someone might not look excited, but they are. Someone might not cry when they are sad.
So, we have to be careful not to judge the inside feeling by the outside expression.
Yes, and be patient with yourself as you learn these cultural rules too. It's another layer to navigate.
So much of this is about patience, isn't it? Patience with yourself, patience with others.
The key ingredient. There are no quick fixes. It's a lifelong practice.
And some days you will be better at it than others. That's completely normal.
Completely. On difficult days, just doing one small kind thing is a victory.
Like making that cup of tea or taking 3 deep breaths.
Yes, celebrate the small victories. They add up.
You know, I feel very calm after this conversation. Just talking about it is regulating.
Me too. It's a good reminder to be gentle with ourselves.
It really is. Well, John, I think we are slowly coming to the end of our conversation for today.
Already, the time went by so quickly.
It really did. But before we go, let's do a very gentle wrap-up. What is one simple takeaway you hope our listeners remember?
One takeaway. I would say your feelings are not your enemies. They are messengers. Listen to them with kindness.
That's beautiful. My takeaway is build your toolbox. Find 1 or 2 things that help you calm down. Breathing, walking, talking, and practice them when you're calm, so they're ready when you need them.
Wonderful advice. And remember, this applies to your English learning journey too. Be a kind friend to yourself as you learn.
Always. Thank you so much, John, for this wonderful chat.
Thank you, Luna. It's always a pleasure.
And thank you, our amazing listener, for spending this time with us. If you enjoyed this episode, please let us know.
Yes, a like, a subscription, or sharing it with one friend means the world to us. It helps our podcast grow.
And we would love to hear from you in the comments. Tell us how much of today's conversation you understood, or share your own tips for handling emotions.
We read every single one, and they make us so happy.
So, from both of us, Luna and John,
Take very good care of yourself. Be gentle with your heart.
and we will see you next time for your next Daily English Boost.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.